What is going on YouTube? Is FlopFish here, and welcome to Team Build Tuesday. This is where I build a team in Hut and kind of showcase it to you guys, give my review of it, what players were working good, what combinations were working good, and yeah, so today with a lot, and by a lot I mean pretty much this entire team was bought by Matt Roberts, aka The Flow Show. I'll leave a link to his YouTube in the description below. He's also going to do a review of the team, but he's supplied most of these players, and it is a player of the game team. And let me first off say, this is one of the prettiest looking teams you will ever see. Like the purple, especially with the Tampa change teams, oh, it looks so good. I didn't change team the country guys because I was unsure if you wanted to or not, and they generally will sell for more with the flags in the background. But other than that, so pretty much he has 90% of the cards you see on screen, and I'll go through the lines afterwards. But again, just looks really, really nice. And so let's start off with the lines. Let's go with the first line. We have Ovechkin, Bergeron, and Nyquist. Now, this line in an offline game mode was phenomenal. Online, absolutely horrible. Like I couldn't get anything. They couldn't finish, and that's the theme with this entire team, is that it's pretty much all Swedish, no finish, and it was very, very frustrating to play with because I had to resort to just trying to get rebounds and stuff like that with this team, which generally speaking with players that have this skill, not exactly what you want to do, especially with the prices you have to pay for some of these cards. On defense, Ekman-Larsson and Carlson. Now, I'm a big Ekman-Larsson fan. I don't like the way the player of the game plays. I like the team of the week. The feel of the team of the week, he feels faster and better than the player of the game. I don't know what it is, but it just seems like it. Meanwhile, there's Erik Karlsson on the other hand. I've played with this regular, and holy cow, this one is a monster. Like, this is a card that honestly I can say is definitely worth the investment in if you have the pucks and you want that high-end offensive defenseman, because he dances like a freaking fairy up the ice, dodges every single, like, he can deke insanely well. He has a good shot, he has good passing, and again, he's actually pretty solid defensively. He can't hit, but that's to be expected, and the only other complaint I have with him would be the fact that he got knocked off the puck really easily. Together, they weren't bad, but Karlsson definitely carried this defensive pairing, that's for sure. And then in net, the starting goalie we had is Henrik Lundqvist, who, after playing a couple games with Varlamov, and I thought Varlamov was better, the last two games with Varlamov really made me think that I like Lundqvist better, just because he's better at stopping the shots from the top of the zone. Lundqvist lets in a little bit more like weaker goals from down low, but overall he stops the slap shots from the point and slap shots from the top of the circle and wrist shots from there. So that's why I like Lundqvist a little bit better in net than Varlamov. Now on to the second line, and this was the best line on this team by far. Obviously highest chemistry rating, but it's Marchand, Seguin, and Ben. Ben is one of the all 90 cards. Again, very, very good stats on him. He has a lethal shot. Seguin was actually pretty good at winning faceoffs, and again, this line's good for cycling, good off the rush, and overall they got 5 of my, I think I scored 5 of like 10 goals or so. And then on defense, we have Mata and Zidlicki. Again, solid pairing, solid two-way pairing. Didn't really experience it a ton, but he was good. Mata's good offensively and defensively. Like, he's just a good two-way defenseman. He's pretty decently fast. Same with Zidlicki. Zidlicki actually has a pretty good shot as well. And again, Lundqvist. You guys already heard about him. And we have Zuccarello, Granlund, and Carter. I did not like Carter. I will say that right now. I just didn't like him. He just seemed slow and sluggish compared to Zook and Granlund, and seemed to be holding the team back. His shot could not hit the net. Like, he could not finish. Meanwhile, the Finnish player on his line, Granlund, scored 3 or 4 goals for me. So that's pretty good. And Zuccarello is a great playmaker in this game. Again, he's fast and he doesn't really get knocked over easily. I really like these two together. Did not like Jeff Carter. So overall, this line was okay. I think I would probably do something like this or like this. I don't know. But I'd probably try to run Carter with Bergeron. Bergeron won't lose a faceoff, by the way. Like, if you have decent faceoff skills, you won't lose a faceoff. This defensive pairing, however, Party and Hursley, it looks really, really weird, when in fact it is probably one of the best defensive pairings I have ever used. They are so good defensively that they weren't on the ice for a goal allowed, and I allowed probably I think I won 3 games and lost 2 with this team, and I allowed probably like I don't know, probably like 9 goals, 10 goals. Somewhere in there is close to that. But they weren't on the ice for a goal against. I played them about 20 minutes each game, and they hit well, they defend really well. They always seem to be in the right positioning. So I like that pairing very, very much, and they seem to be two of the better defenders on their team, especially for their price. Now onto the fourth line, which is my second favorite line, and it's Perron, Hurdle, and Iggy. And this line is definitely very solid. It hits well, they play well together, they have good chemistry. It's my 99 chem line. Hurdle's really good on the draws. Iggy's really good at kind of getting in on the forecheck. He is a bit slower, but Perron makes up for the slowness of Iggy, and Hurdle's just kind of like above average speed. I find he's one of the best cards in the game. Like, if you can pick him up, I highly suggest you do. But again, that's kind of just my thoughts and feelings behind that. And yeah, so this team overall played pretty good. Again, Varlamov stats, again, all 90 plus. He played pretty good. Like, everything else but slap shots from the top of the circle and from the point and wrist shots from there, he was good at. So if you're good at defending those, then he's going to be a good goalie for you. If not, then I'd go with the Lundqvist if you obviously had unlimited pucks and could choose between the two. Now, the power play setup I had a pretty good power play setup, but again, this is where I really learned to dislike Carter because he could not hit the net if his life depended on it. The second power play unit, however, got 2 power play goals for me, and I had Zook on the point. If I were to change this, I'd probably put Ben on the point because Ben has a better shot. But yeah, that's about it. And again, just go through the lines here. Again, I didn't really use these a ton. Again, I really like Bergeron. Bergeron penalty killing. What I did with a lot of my faceoffs, actually, if I had a faceoff in the defensive zone, no matter how tired the first line was, I would bring them out because Bergeron wouldn't lose a faceoff, and then I would just change them as I skate up the ice with the puck because I just won the faceoff. And then, generally speaking, I go with them, and then my most fresh D pairing and the D pairing skate up forwards would change for me, and it worked fairly well. So that was the best part of this line. But overall, if I were to rank the lines kind of thing, this line is, I wouldn't change this line at all. It flies really good. This is by far the best line on the team for me. The fourth line was the second best line for me on the team. The third line, I think I'd probably find a way to mix up, like put Zuccarello up where Nyquist is, or maybe put him, or maybe bring like Nyquist down or Ovi here. I don't know, but this line, just these two players, Granlund and Zook, played really good. I was not a fan of Carter at all. And then Nyquist is pretty solid as well. So again, it might be chemistry on the team. I'm not entirely sure, but regardless, overall, this team played pretty decently well. I mean, there will be some footage here at the very end for you guys. I get it. It played average, and like it played decent, but they couldn't hit the net, and cycling was actually a bit of a struggle with this team. And I went and used my actual like regular team, and I just couldn't. I could cycle with them normally, so I don't know what it is, but it just was one of those teams that's a really weird team because it has players that you can play in an offline game mode and they will absolutely dominate. Like, you can go against like the hardest AI possible and you'll just be blowing by them, especially if they have like a legend team even. You're going to have no problem out-skating them and out-shooting them and out-playing them. Meanwhile, you go online and they just seem slower and sluggish, which is really, really weird playing with them. But nonetheless, guys, that is about it for this team build. Again, overall wise, I wouldn't do this team build if I were you guys, and it was frustrating to use because I had really high expectations for it and thought that I was playing pretty good. I mean, like, I was still winning games, but I felt like it could have been performing better. But at the end of the day, this is the prettiest team I have ever built. It looks so nice, and it's awesome. Tempo change team cards on the player of the game cards are the best change team cards. Anyways, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this team build. Again, huge thank you to Matt. His link will be in the description below. Stay tuned for the one next Tuesday, which will be a bit of a fun one to do. As always, take it easy, and I'll catch you guys on the flop side.